Episode 266. It's a bright and sunny day in the firmament, or at least as bright as sunny as it can be when it's snowing. It's always overcast here, isn't it? Like, I don't think there's ever any actually sunny weather. Although that's not true, there were some episodes where I was recording and there were absolutely beautiful, clear blue skies over Ishgard. Feels like that's once in a blue moon or something. Except not when there's a blue moon, because then it would be a black sky. Anyway, we're helping out Charlemagne today. It's another one of these custom delivery things, the second one that they released alongside the Ishgardian restoration. First one being Althol. This one shouldn't take as long as Althol though. I think we'll probably get through it pretty quickly, is what I think, but we'll see. Oh, and we'll do it looking like this. Kind of forgot. We're gonna put the experience into Carpenter, but we're gonna do it looking like this. I thank you for entertaining my request. There's another who I believe would be keen to hear what you have to say. He shall be arriving anon. I forgot what kind of voice I gave Charlemagne. It doesn't really matter. Not here to voice act. We know this guy. Give me a second. Right, he's also Durandare. Or wait, was he... No, he is Durandare. The first guy that we met that kind of represented Durandare. During the A Realm Reborn questline over in the only part of Corythus that you could actually reach during A Realm Reborn. Komoy, the Count mentioned there was someone he wished to introduce to me, but I did not expect it to be you. Tell me, how have you fared since last we met? When did we last meet? You're gonna have to remind me. Mayhap I should have surmised that the two of you were already acquainted. Komoy accompanied Lord Francel and I on our trade delegation to the Three Nations, which I dare say would not have been nearly as successful as it was without her insight. Since returning home, I've been pondering many a matter. Long has House Durandare stood at the fore and done its sworn duty to protect our countrymen from heretics and the Horde. But Ishgard now enters a new era. In these changing times, how must House Durandare adapt to best serve our fair nation? This is a question that most occupies my thoughts of late. As our nation turns its eyes to the outside world, I would once more look within. House Durandare shall see our nation thrive as never before, and every Ishgardian is able to reap the benefits of peace and prosperity. I am not sure what to say, my lord. Clearly your journey has had quite an effect on you. Needless to say, I wholeheartedly agree with your noble aim, and promise to offer whatever aid is in my power to offer. It sounds like this isn't a regular thing for the Lord of House Durandare. Must have been some kind of huge change of heart. I mean, we saw it happen in front of us, but we didn't exactly know what he was like before all this. Just that by reputation that he was all, well, on the more conservative side. Like barring entry to Ishgard and keeping people from advancing towards the future. That sort of thing. My knights as well are searching for ways in which they might serve the people, now that their blades are no longer needed. Should you lack for manpower, you need but say the word. Very good. I would first task them with carrying out some long overdue restorations in the Broom, which unfortunately remained in a most sorry state. But it will not suffice to physically rebuild the city. No, for our citizens to truly prosper, we will need a steady flow of goods and services. A healthy economy is the lifeblood of any nation, after all. To that end, I also intend to put House Durandare's fleet of airships to use, in shuttling materials to and from far-off lands. You rode one of our vessels yourself when you aided us in reclaiming the Stone Vigil, did you not? You will forever have my gratitude for your efforts that day. In any event, we will have need of pilots and machinists. We're one of those, and in far greater numbers than we have now. There are many here who would benefit from learning a trade, by which they might earn their keep. We will recruit these individuals and train them to the best of our ability. For this, I would enlist your services, or these services, of a knowledgeable and patient instructor. Mayhap there is someone you could recommend, Lord Drillmont? Ah yes, I do believe I know just the man. He knows our airships inside and out, and has an admirable passion for sharing his craft with those around him. He is battle-tested as well. He was the very pilot who served to help us reclaim the Stone Vigil, after all. Was that like an NPC? Like a guy that I would have seen during the entrance into the dungeon or something? Because I don't remember who that is. I guess we're gonna find out. His name is Sestivald, and do not let his use fool you. He is as knowledgeable and reliable as many men twice his age. That said, there is a rub. I have seen neither hide nor hair of him since the war ended. He suffered a wound in his last battle, and I've heard rumors that he has since fallen on hard times. Many such men eke out a living in the boom these days. It is a most unfortunate situation, and one that does not reflect well on our house, or our nation. We must do right by these brave souls, and we must do it now. And so I turn to you, Komoy. Might I task you, by seeking out this Sestivald and relaying my offer? I have already drawn up a contract that you might deliver to the man. I would approach the man directly, but our recent foray into the Three Nations has convinced me that when it comes to negotiating with the common folk, you are far more capable than I. Besides, if I'm to bring my plans to fruition, there is another whose aid I must petition, and with all haste. Will you do me this favor and speak with Sestivald in my stead? Alright, we'll do the talking. We're so good at that. You know us, we're a regular chatterbox. Then I too shall return to White Room Front, and recruit as many knights as I can for the cause. That would be most appreciated, Lord Drillmont. And with that, I will take my leave. May your meeting with Sestivald be a fruitful one. And just like with Elto, we don't directly go into the custom deliveries. We have to do some other like lower level quests for this guy first. No handshakes, we're busy. I've said it before, but it would be interesting if there was more of the boom that you could see, rather than just this one tiny section that's underneath the normal area. Don't really have a good sense of what the broom actually is, other than just this one alleyway. If there was somehow like a dungeon that went into the broom, like fighting through the streets, then that would have been, I don't know, a good way to give you an idea of what it looked like. Yes, I'm Sestivald. Who's to ask? Or who's ask? By the Fury. Are mine eyes to be believed? Yeah, it's us. You recognize us even in the apron. The missive drafted in flowery quillmanship on fine parchment, adorned with the exquisite seal of House Durandare. How very elegant. What's this? Count Charlemagne de Durandare would personally entreat your services as an instructor and mentor to aspiring airship pilots throughout the... Look, you may be the slayer of gods, but if this is your idea of a jest, it is true, you say? Then of course I accept. I would be a fool not to. Though why the lord of the highest of houses, and a hero such as yourself would turn to a broken-bodied nobody, rotting his days away in the broom is beyond my comprehension. pray allow me to say that it was a true honor to have had you on board my airship, in the operation to retake the Stone Vigil. The mere memory of that triumph has carried me through even the darkest of days. Would this have been... This would have had to have been the optional dungeon, wasn't it? Because there were two versions of the Stone Vigil. The one that we did for the main story, the normal mode, wasn't retaking the Stone Vigil. It was just us riding in on it while it was still invested with dragons, just to steal back Sid's airship. But then it was still infested by the time we got the optional hard quest to retake the Stone Vigil. So I guess you could get this quest and not have the dialogue that talks about retaking the Stone Vigil or whatever. It would just be slightly different, I think. Because I'm pretty sure there's no requirement to do this quest with a prerequisite of doing the hard mode dungeon. Probably not. In any case, I'm glad I'm getting this version of the dialogue. It's always nice when you get acknowledged for doing the optional stuff. And yeah, if we went back to the footage of that optional dungeon, we'd probably see this guy riding us in or something. At any rate, the letter goes on to state that, should I accept the offer, I am to report to the site of the planned training facility, which according to this is to be constructed here in the Broom, at once. And I do believe I'm inclined to do just that. Might I be so bold as to ask you to accompany me? It has been a while since I consorted with nobles, and I fear I might do something to embarrass myself. Okay, we're not exactly, well, we don't exactly know all the rules to tea time, to put it lightly. I'm sure they'll give us a pass though, right? We're the savior of Ishgard. According to the letter, the site in question is just beyond here, shall we? Wait, are we actually getting like a better look into the Broom? At least like a minor... No, it's just happening in this corner. Weird. You must be Sestavold. On behalf of House Durinder, I thank you for entertaining my offer. Allow me to get right to the matter at hand. As you may know, Lord Francel's efforts to bolster trade with some of the most prestigious merchants from the three nations have borne considerable fruit. As such, we have need of capable airship pilots to shuttle supplies to and fro. Lord Drillmont has spoken highly of your expertise. I would have you train the next generation of pilots who will steer Ishgard to a brighter future. It is my hope that this will also serve to provide an honest, profitable trade for a number of the unfortunate souls who call this place home. Yeah, people don't expect this kind of thing from him. My lord, I do not know what to say. You show great mercy to this battered, broken man. Give him a chance to rebuild his life in a way he never imagined. I am honored and blessed to accept your offer. For as long as I draw breath, I will serve your cause with every ounce of strength and passion that I am able to muster. There is also the matter of securing the funds necessary to operate the new facility, as well as to maintain our fleet. Lord Edmond, I trust I can count on the support of House Fortomps in this matter. That is no longer my decision to make, but I will consult with Artoriel, and I see no reason why he would not be receptive of your cause. When you arrived at Fortomps Manor and said you would speak with me in private, I must admit I had my doubts as to what you had in mind. But I cannot very well turn a blind eye to the unprivileged men and women of our society, can I? Not when the savior of Ishgard stands before me, ready to fight for them. That is why you brought Mistress Moiko here, is it not? You may think yourself subtle, Lord Charlemagne, but I am wise to your ways. After all, this is not the first time you have brought me around to your cause. Though this time, at least, I can say it is a noble one. For years, House Houses Durandare and Fort Tomps have struggled for supremacy. But we are not so different, you and I. Is it such a terrible thing that we take advantage of each other from time to time? I think not. Besides, I cannot very well let you live a life of leisurely retirement, while I remain on the front lines, fighting for men and women who have been forgotten for far too long. As members of Ishgard's most privileged class, it is our calling to lead our nation into a new era of prosperity and enlightenment, and I, for one, have no intention of shirking this duty. Oh, these are useless prisms. Fine, we'll take them, but I'm gonna throw them away after I use one of them. So I guess House Durandare is probably the most conservative of the 4 high houses. Probably good that this quest is showing that they're actually trying to help out with Ishgard's restoration and all that. Which just means that probably most of the high nobles and the high houses and everyone are actually on board with, you know, reformation and everything. Wait a second. Thanks to your efforts, Houses Durandare and Fort Tomps have awakened to the plight of Ishgard's poor and suffering, and the restoration of the broom has begun in earnest. Did this actually change this part of the map? Hang on, we gotta look around first. Let's talk to Sestevald first, I guess. Well met, friend. I'm pleased to say that we've seen no end of aspiring machinists looking to apprentice here. Say, you wouldn't happen to be interested yourself, would you? I mean, we are machinists, but... Well, one thing they did change was... Well, for one, it's brighter here. There's like better lighting that we can actually see the corner. This isn't like the same lighting. And there are more posters around, but mainly, that door no longer has that one bleak-looking no entry sign over it. It has an actual door, I guess. Well, not an actual door. You can't enter it or anything, but it actually keeps up the illusion that this place is being used, is all I'm saying. Which is good. So like, what else changed? I never noticed this on my main character because, well, obviously, there's still junk like this. People still working to lift things up, uselessly. It's stuff that was here since when? Well, ever since you arrived in Ishgard, but this rubble came from the first attack on Ishgard that actually happened during the final patch quests of A Realm Reborn. Back when you did the Steps of Faith, that huge dragon that you fight in a trial or whatever. Which became a solo duty after that, I guess. But the point is, all of this rubble has been here for forever, basically. And it's super annoying that it never gets resolved even after years and years into the future. And it still hasn't. On my main character, like even in Dawn Trail and beyond, it's all the same. But I think with this quest, they at least changed things up a little bit, like in some nooks and crannies. Like there's still all this rubble and scaffolding. There's still these guys here. This corner is still kind of bleak, isn't it? I guess the camera shots that they used during that cutscene were only put over the significant or the specific places that they changed. I think if we go over here, we should be able to see... I guess these guys are new? Are they? The new building materials still haven't arrived. Any moment now, I reckon. I can't tell. Are these guys... new? Just based on their garb, I would say... they might have always been here? Maybe? Based on whatever the NPCs are wearing, you could maybe guess on which patch they come from. Because usually whenever they give you, well, like what I'm wearing right now, this is from Shadowbringers, patch 5.2 or 3 or whatever. But I could have also gotten like the Skyworkers outfits and a bunch of other things that NPCs wear. And based on that, you can tell whether some NPCs are maybe from more recent patches or not. But I think these guys are new. The camera lingered over them, and is like all of this scaffolding new or what? This isn't in the playable space, so it's well within reason that they could have just added this in as part of the quest. I think this guy is new. I think all the scaffolding is new. What I can do is probably look back on some of my footage where I began the episode around here, usually standing on one of these little pillar things. And if I pan the camera over in this direction, I could see if this scaffolding even existed in the first place. What else is new? What about this one guy that's always like hanging off the edge over here? Did they like update him? No, the poor guy is still hanging on for his life. Yeah, I guess they only changed where they put the camera over. Not like any of this stuff that's always been here, and is always going to be here. So they only gave it like a minor makeover, which is... it's something, but it's not... it's probably not enough, right? It doesn't feel like enough. At least they're trying, I guess. The only problem is that it probably means that they won't try anymore, right? Like, this was the limits of what they could do with giving this place a makeover. Are any of these NPCs new? Probably not. At last, Ishgard begins to rebuild in earnest. The works will be focused on the firmament at first, but it must not end there. We must see that all areas of the nation receive the attention they deserve. Okay, at least the NPCs changed dialogue, because I'm pretty sure this guy was always here. And like all of these guys were here working on these rocks before, maybe. It feels like they just changed the dialogue from rebuilding after the attack from the dragons when you first arrived, to being dialogue about rebuilding the firmament and all of the Ishgardian restoration stuff. This corner is like the only one that got a makeover. Sort of. Oh, is he talking about... yeah. He's talking about Ishgardian restoration stuff, okay. What can I... well, bugger me if it ain't the savior of Ishgard. What brings you back here? As for me, I've been tasked with minding the shop here, and selling provisions crafted over in Featherfall to the residents of the Broom. It ain't a glamorous job, actually, it's a bloody boring one. But it's honest work and pays fair coin, so you won't see me complaining. Alright, so this is a shop now. It used to be just like nothing, I guess. At least it's like... it feels like they're trying to give some business to the Broom, so it's not just like where a bunch of homeless people hang out. And these kids are gone. They're no longer like throwing those pesky snowballs at me, thank goodness. Where is it? No one to throw snowballs at. But good. I hated walking by there and having those kids throw snowballs at me. I definitely won't miss them at all. What about these guys? Some of ours have put down their arms and picked up building implements instead. Feels like only yesterday that we were feuding with nobles and fending off dragons. But times can change, eh? We've all got high hopes for the firmament, Hilda not least of all. Fairly champing at the bit to watch over the district she is. And Hilda, are you champing at the bit? Whatever that means. So, the firmament, eh? It's good to see that the rebuilding's begun, but we'll see whether this Francel can do right by a slowborn. I'm not sure if that dialogue is even specific to the makeover we just got, or if it's... well, it just seems like it all has to do with Francel. I'm pretty sure the makeover just now only affected less important NPCs like Golden. Sorry to say, Golden, you're not very important. He might have been involved during a main quest, but that's probably it. Maybe this guy changed? I'm just a poor soldier from a poor family. What business does an adventurer have with me? I don't think that has anything to do with anything. These guys don't have any idle dialogue. What about this guy? He's like a doctor, right? Or he works for the church? House Durandare has gone above and beyond in leading the effort to revitalize the boom. A long road still lies ahead of us, but the glimmer in the eyes of the residents gives me hope for a brighter future. Okay, more NPCs than I thought. Let's actually try some of the guys over in the Forgotten Night. Or below it, at least. Because I'm pretty sure some of the guys that frequent there are from the Broom. I know some of them are like from side quests that we had to do, like this guy. So I wouldn't expect their dialogue to change too much if they still have to give you side quests that you could do at any point in time. Of late a change has come over the air. The biting cold remains, to be sure, but the flame of hope has been rekindled in the people, and this warmth can be felt around them. Okay, that could be either the restoration or could just be completing Heavensward. Poor soul who used to spend his days brooding in front of my shop finally set off on a journey, in hopes of coming to peace with his past. Looking at the faces of the people around, I reckon he's not the only one who's learned to put aside his pain in hopes of pursuing a brighter tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we did a side quest for the guy that was in front of here. Feels like everyone's moving on. I kinda like that. This guy's like for fishing, he wouldn't have anything to say. And of course these guys are for Dark Knight stuff. What about you? No. Okay, I think that's everyone from the Broom that we might get some special dialogue out of. Everyone I care to check anyway. Well, good. This is the kind of thing that I would have missed on my main character. I probably glossed right over the fact that the Broom and the Foundation got a minor makeover. But I'm paying attention now, so I got it. Oh wait, we're taking it from him. Well I guess this is part of Durandare's stuff, so yeah. Komoy, what a coincidence that you should be here too. Nary a moment ago, I caught sight of another familiar face. Though his attire, I noted, was anything but familiar. Ere I could hail our mutual friend, he hurried off in the direction of Sir Vaindro's Grace. It seemed as though he did not wish to be seen, but if you are curious, mayhap you would like to seek him out. Okay. Did you find our friend? Lest you've forgotten, he was headed in the direction of Sir Vaindro's Grace. He was attired in an unfamiliar fashion. I mean, we know who it is, because I already said this episode is about one guy. But yeah, this quest would have been unlocked after you turned over patches during Shadowbringers. The quest we just did was part of one patch, and this is part of a new patch. And here's a suspiciously familiar man. He looks hip and useful. Surely one of the kids. I was just talking about how you can tell from where a guy, like which patch a guy comes from, based on the clothes he's wearing. And those pants definitely scream patch 5.0 and beyond, I think. Komoy, what in the Fury's name are you doing here? Not that it is for me, the person you most assuredly do not know, to say where you should or shouldn't be. Nay, I was merely expressing my surprise at being in the presence of a great hero. If you say so, my lord. But why are you dressed like that? Are you feeling well, Lord Charlemagne? Yeah, there's no option where you don't know it's Lord Charlemagne. I guess we're just gonna say, the second one. We're not gonna address him as my lord. Ah, and there I thought I had disguised myself meticulously. I suppose I ought to explain. You see, I had learned that Sir Vaindru's Grace is presently recruiting aides, and came here to present myself for consideration. As an aide, I would provide support to the Tyrudans and nurses, such as managing supplies and seeing to the patient's everyday needs. While such staff are not fully fledged employees, they are afforded the chance to learn the healer's craft, while earning a living wage. Not that I require such things, mind you. I recently had occasion to speak with a knight of my house, you see, one who was maimed in the line of duty, and I was made keenly aware that I was not doing enough to provide those who had given me a leal service. By working here, I hope to redress my negligence in some small way. But that is not the whole of it, if truth be told. It is also my hope that my service would set an example for my fellow nobles, many of whom struggle to accept that all Ishgardians are equal in the Fury's eyes. They cling to the old ways, and look down upon the common folk. It's just kind of a cool thing, I guess. That a guy from his age and upbringing, the high, noble status and all that, would decide, okay, maybe I should actually just be a normal guy and help people out like a normal guy does. It's a good example to lead by. Even if he probably was leading a different example, very differently like up until now, based on how everyone expects him to be super duper conservative and all that. Yet now that I stand here, I find that my courage has deserted me. The prospect of undergoing scrutiny is proving to be somewhat daunting, and I can't bring myself to step through the infirmary doors. Forgive me, Komori, but will you not put in a good word on my behalf to the chief nurse within? Aurelette is her name, and she has charge over recruitment. I guess in a way the Warrior of Light does the same thing like all the time. It's a high status, being the savior of the realm, like twice over or however many times. But I guess we're still doing things like this, walking in, wearing the garb of a crafter and helping out whatever this place is. Some kind of orphanage? It's not an orphanage, it's a hospital, I know this. Greetings and welcome to Sir Vaindru's Grace. If I may say so, you appear as hale and whole as they come. I assume you are here to visit a patient. There's this really cool guy standing outside. You should hire him. Oh, you wish to recommend someone as an aide? Coming from a renowned hero, it must be a fine candidate indeed. Look at this cool customer, strutting in. Begging your pardons, but I'm given to understand that the infirmary is presently recruiting aides. Why, Lord Charlemagne, to what do we owe the honor of your visit? If you wish to make another kind donation, our staff upstairs would be glad to attend you. What? Can every man and his chocobo see through my disguise? Never mind. Now, while I'm pleased to donate, that is not my primary purpose today. I wish to be considered for an aide position. An aide position? Are you certain of this, my lord? He's just a normal guy. Call him Charlemagne while he's wearing this. Call him Charlie, yeah. I am, and in this capacity, I bid you think of me not as Count de Durandare, but simply as Charlie. Well, if this is your wish. I should mention that there is another applicant, an orphan girl by the name of Meili. Oh, we know the one. Yeah, we kind of would need this flashback if we were getting it during Heavensward, or rather, during Shadowbringers. I believe you are acquainted with her, Komoi. She is the one who fell from the vault, and was saved by a white dragon. Truth be told, she is too young for the work, but seeing her enthusiasm, I am minded to give her a chance. If it isn't too much trouble, my lord, Charlie, may I ask you to fetch her from the Rolandberry field? I would speak with the two of you together. Of course. I shall go at once. You know the girl, yes? If you aren't otherwise occupied, perhaps you can come along and introduce us. You should find Maylee at Rolandberry Field. I eagerly await your return. Rolandberry Field? Where is that? I didn't know they had a field of Rolandberries. They don't do farming here, do they? What was that noise? Oh. This is where they all moved to, huh? I see. They must have moved not during the makeover, like during the thing we saw just now over in the boom. They moved all of these kids, which I'm pretty sure are the same kids, over here because they were previously homeless and now they have a home. That's actually pretty cool. But that just means I have to do this now. Hang on, give me a second. Use it. And put it on right here. Take this, my revenge, for all the years of torment. And some for you. And we can't forget you. I hate you most of all. I don't even remember who you are. Okay. It's kinda sad though, they don't throw them at you anymore. They used to like auto-target onto you back in the boom. They've moved on. Could she be the one? Oh, it's you. Who's the old man, your friend? This cool young hipster is Charlie. This is Maylee. Gods, good gods. That she should be so young. No, but where are my manners? My name is Charlie, and I've been instructed to bring you to Sir Vainju's grace. Lady Morlette wishes to have words with the two of us regarding the 8th position. Really? Oh, perhaps she'll let me work at the infirmary after all. And you want to work there too, do you? Come on, let's hurry. Charlie and Maylee, what a pair. Do I like this map position right here? I've had it here for so long, I just don't second guess it. If I changed things, it would be weird, but maybe a change of pace would be nice once in a while. I don't know. Such a lively child. There you all are. I'm here, Morlette. You want to speak with me? About working here? That's correct, little one. My thanks for fetching her, Charlie. Now then, I requested your presence for no other reason than to ask you a question. Why do you wish to work here? Well, ever since Komoi and Vidofnir helped me, I've wanted to be someone who can help others. It don't matter who they are or where they're from. I want to help everyone. What's that called again? Not the physician's oath. It's something like, the Hippocratic oath. That's the one. That is a wonderful desire, but know that to work at the infirmary is to be responsible for no less than the lives of others. There will be trying times, but come what may, you cannot forsake your duty. For instance, there may be patients who judge you not less, but more harshly, on account of your being a child, but you cannot allow yourself to be discouraged. And at a bare minimum, you will be expected to know your letters and numbers, for lives could well depend on it. Do you think you will be equal to the task? Well, they teach us letters and numbers at the orphanage, but I'm not much good at it. And you, Charlie. I feel obliged to point out that many of our patients are commoners who once served nobles as soldiers. When they discover your identity, there are those who may assume the worst of you, that you are, for instance, and forgive me my bluntness, an eccentric nobleman indulging a whim. They may not speak their minds, but their conduct towards you will be more than willing, or more than telling. I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, that's not what Charlemagne is doing in this particular instance. But we've known more than our fair share of noblemen, just like going out on a whim, which is mainly just, I guess, a Manolane. He's like the only one, the main one. But he's also kind of a good guy, most of the time, sometimes. Point is, you can trust them if they're with us. In the face of such disdain, do you think you will be able to perform your duties? I offer my services in the full awareness that some may not take kindly to my presence. Regardless of how I am treated, I am determined to perform my duties to the best of my ability. Be that as it may, I confess I do not always know how best to relate to the common folk, and I fear it may cause me to struggle to win the patient's trust. You've won over foreign merchants. You can win over your own people. It may not be easy, but I have faith in you. I don't think Komoy would say she has faith in Charlemagne, or rather she wouldn't admit it. Let's just say this. You can do it. Win over your own people. Rest assured, none of this deters me from my course. If there is one thing I've learned, it is that anyone can learn, so long as they are willing. And for a blessing, I am in the presence of an ideal teacher. If you would be so kind as to teach me about your world, child, I would be glad to tutor you in letters and numbers. As individuals, we may have shortcomings, but together we can overcome them to better serve the needs of those in our care. I'm willing to learn too, Marlette, so please, give us a chance. Very well, I believe I have heard enough. On behalf of all of us at Sir Vanger's Grace, I welcome the two of you to our crew. Though I have spoken some stern words, know that I will be there to help you on your way. Now, without further ado, I shall assign you your first task. Our stores of daily necessities are dwindling, and I would like you to replenish them. As we have no regular supplier at this time, you may procure the items from wherever you deem fit. We shall set about it at once. The first step will be to seek out sources for that which we require. Yet, why procure from just anyone, when we already have an eminently capable artisan among us? Komoy, your skills are known far and wide. We would be most assured were you to consent to being our supplier. You hear that, Komoy? Your skills are known far and wide. Your plan's working. Wonderful. With you providing them, we can look forward to necessities of the highest quality. On that subject, are you perchance familiar with the House of Splendors? The consortium contributes to welfare projects in our nation, and operates a stall just outside the infirmary. Should you require materials for your work, you would do well to seek them out. That shrug from Komor, yeah, she knows. It's always the House of Thunders, isn't it? What do you want, Komor? Baked onion soup or stuffed cabbage rolls? I think we want the soup. So, he's gonna be wearing that the entire time, huh? I like it. Very useful. May I say how I truly appreciate your helping Charlemagne, Charlie, and Melee? Although they do not want for motivation, your presence instills them with confidence as they undertake their duties. Where is Melee? Ah, there she is. Laura that put her face in me. I won't let her down. Oh, and look, I got a uniform. Ah, like I said before, she's looking very 5.0 and beyond right now. Like some of the Ishgardian people, they are wearing the patch 3.0 stuff and below, like this. Not the one on the right, but the one on the left. This guy looks very patch 3.0, maybe even 2.0. But this NPC, the haircut, the sweater, that's definitely 5.0 and beyond. This one too. I guess this is like the nurse uniform. Can you actually get that as a player? That'd actually be pretty nice. There's probably no shortage of like nurse uniforms for a whatever healer classes might get them. But sometimes it's a toss-up whether or not you can actually get the same uniforms as NPCs. This room houses those patients who require intensive and extended care. Do take care not to disturb them. There isn't anyone in here. Okay. And what does Charlie have to say? Or rather, doesn't have anything to say. He just has something to give us, a quest, basically. Lest you forget, Komori, our task is to replenish the infirmary stores of daily necessities, dining utensils, bedding, and the like. We thank you for your kind assistance. So we have to deliver 3 things here. Patient necessities, from necessity components, with no intermediary step. Okay. So, where did they say that we could? Right, it was... Wasn't there like a shop? Yeah, right here. Alright, so give us the necessities, only 3. And instant quality. Perfect every time. Just need to do that 2 more times. It seems like this episode is actually turning out to be longer than I thought. The original plan was to, well, I guess I don't have to talk about it now. I'll just save it for next episode. Yeah, the plan was to spend half the episode on this, but I guess the quest that we used to lead into this was longer than I thought, and then I also spent some time looking around the makeover. And there wasn't really much to look at for the makeover, but I had to sort of sniff it out. Damn. This isn't the kind of counter that you can get behind, but more importantly, it's not the kind of counter that I can stand on as a Lalafell. I just like to speak eye to eye with people. No wait, we're turning it in as a carpenter. Excellent. These necessities will serve our patients well. Cleanliness being of the essence, I will, see to disinfecting these ere they are put to use. But first, a little inspection for good measure. By the Fury, even to my layman's eyes, this plane the quality is transcendent. I cannot show this to Melee soon enough. Alright, and 2 more of that. With this latest contribution, we now have the requisite amount of necessities. You have my gratitude. Is it true? We have enough daily necessities now? That we do, and we owe it to our industrious friend. Wonderful. Now our patients have everything they need. Thank you so much, Komoy. So much indeed. But I must confess I was surprised to see how much is needed simply to provide our patients with a basic level of comfort. All these things need replacing too, so we'll need to keep making more, just like we do at the orphanage. Truly, you make everything you need by yourselves. Well, sure, most things anyway. I mean, who else is going to do it for us? Same with the cleaning, we do that ourselves too. Oh, I know. Next time, I'll teach you how to clean, dusting and mopping and all that. We have to do these things regularly. After all, cleanliness is next to healthiness. I should be grateful for your tutelage, child. Such devotion to a duty. And those ones are for free. No option to choose from. Charlie is pleased with your efforts. He now considers you an AIDS-able associate. They sometimes like to do the alliteration with this one. Or with these, custom deliveries, not all the time, but sometimes. And yet, there is still much more work to be done, if he is to atone for past negligence, and provide a shining example for the future of Ishgard. To that end, Charlemagne Charlie has a new favor to ask of you. Allow me to thank you all for replenishing the daily necessities. It shall keep us for a good while. And with Charlemagne tutoring Melee while managing... And with Charlie, gotta say it every time, tutoring Melee while managing our stores, my fellow nurses and I find our burden greatly lightened. All of which is to say, you are doing well. I always have trouble reading here, like with this game, more than other games I'm realizing. Mainly because this game has a lot of reading, but also, I think the text is a lot smaller than in other games. I'm comfortable with this text size, I don't want to change it. But I do recognize that I would probably improve my reading ability if I just actually increase the size of the text. It's fine though. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Don't have to impress myself here. That being the case, I have a mind to ask you, with replenishing and managing our medical supplies as well. Do you think you will be up to the task? Yes, Morlet. Just leave it to us. You heard that, Charlemagne. We're in charge of medical supplies now. Tis testament to your dedication. Let us keep up our fine form. No, wait. You heard that, Charlie, is what she actually said, canonically. Komoy, there is none we trust more to provide what we need. May we rely on you once more? I guess we're doing the procuring, but they're doing the actual work. Morlet put her face in me. I won't let her oh wait, that's the same. And I think we don't actually have to check what he requires of us. There aren't going to be any intermediary steps, I don't think. So yeah, we'll craft 6 of these things, but we only need 3 of them this week. Oh wait, is this... Damn it, I did it again. I'm a carpenter. Well, we're not even gonna try. I failed last time, so... Oh wait, that preserved the thing. You actually don't lose the material if you quit the synthesis on the first step. I didn't realize that. Well, that's good. Did they add that in? I feel like they added that in. Like that wasn't the case previously. I've been thinking about which class I want to take on for my 3rd crafting class. Nothing I'm gonna take on anytime soon. I already did 2 gatherers in the post Heavensward patches that I'm doing these episodes for, which is more than enough optional content that I'm okay with doing. But by the time we get to Shadowbringers around then, that's when we want to have a total of like 5 or 6 classes to take on the crafting and gathering things. Because later on they divide the crafting and gathering into 5 special niches, you could say. So Culinarian and Alchemist go under the same niche. So I won't be taking on Culinarian, but the last niche that I have to fill in for crafting is, I think, Blacksmith or Leatherworker or Armorer. Gotta pick between one of those 3. I'll do that eventually, I guess, but I don't think I have to decide for a long time. It'll be a while before we get to the point where I actually feel ready to take on another crafting class. We're still so busy with like all of these other things we have right now. In fact, I still have to at some point during these patch quests do the level 50 to 60 quests for Carpenter, Alchemist, Botanist, and Miner. I'll probably wrap all of those up during patch 3.5 quests after all of that. I guess. Greetings, Komori. If you have the medical supplies we require, I should be glad to take them off your hands. From metal receptacles to cloth bandages, medical equipment must be made to exacting standards. Having come from your hands, I expect this will be more than satisfactory. Damn it, I turned this in as an alchemist. I guess I missed out a little bit of experience, but that's fine. But it would be remiss of me not to perform an inspection, if you'll excuse me. Okay, and that's the same dialogue. And there we go. That's all 6 that we got for Charlie, and that's all 12 that we can do in 1 week. Starting from now on, I guess I'll be doing all 12 of these here in the Ishgardian Restoration Zone. 6 for Ulto, and then 6 for Charlemagne. We'll just sprinkle those in wherever we can. Thanks for bringing us so much, Komoi. Indeed, it is in no small part due to your contributions that we budding aides are able to discharge our duties. We are truly grateful. Alright, and that's all 6 for the week. Komori had a busy week, I guess. Doing a lot of work for a lot of people. I don't remember it all, it's been so much. Think we'll retire over here in the hot springs, just because we deserve it. For real this time. kind of a long walk over there. The plan after this episode is to... well, the plan that was supposed to be the latter half of this episode was to continue our crafting journey with the Mughals. Continue their society quest. Because I actually figured out, even though I did them just 1 or 2 episodes ago, let's change into this. Even though I did the Mughal quest 1 or 2 episodes ago, it turns out that my math was a bit off. I actually need to do 1 more round of each of these... each of these society quests for the Ixal... not the Ixal. The Mughals, the... what were they? The Vas, or the Nas, whichever one they're called. And the bird people. I can't remember their name. The Goondu, the Voondu, one of those. I was planning to wrap up all of those society quests in the patch 3.5 quests, but it turns out that I need to do 1 round here, and then another round after that. So to farm experience before I can do all of those quests at once in patch 3.5, I need to do another round here to get them past this threshold and in the background do all of those daily quests. So yeah, that's the plan for next time. Now would be a good time to take a break.